Reichskommissariat Ukraine – найбільша зона з найбільш репресивним режимом, яке саме населення цієї зони окупації зазнало найбільших переслідувань. Також було створено великих масштабних обертів, що мені здається, що це вже було абсолютно очевидно місцевому населенню, що
Posters went up throughout Kiev.
All Yids living in the city of Kiev and its vicinity are to report by 8 o'clock on the morning of Monday, September 29th, at the corner of Melnikovsky and Doktorov streets. They are to take with them documents, money, valuables, as well as warm clothes, underwear, etc.
September 29th was Yom Kippur, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar.
в Східній Європі більшість євреїв знищувалися, як правило, на околицях міст, їх просто розстрілювали. І це абсолютно інший досвід, це абсолютно інша трагедія.
A large column gathered, which included my family, including 6 children and 7 grandchildren. I stood at my father's side and held my 3-year-old little brother Petenka in my arms.
A teacher, El Natova, was a witness to the events on Korolenko Street. She described what she saw in her diary.
I went out to the balcony. I saw a crowd of Jews going along the street. They were of different ages, walking slowly and with such pitiful faces that it was difficult to look at them. Oh, how terrible it is to live here. How difficult it is to watch this scene.
Fedir Pehido was on Lviv Street at approximately 11 o'clock that Monday.
The children. My God, there were so many children. All this was moving, burdened with luggage and children.
Some of the women walking had strings of onions around their necks, food for the journey. Dina Pronicheva was one of those walking.
I took my sick mother and, following the order, she and I started out on the way to Babi. Hundreds, no thousands of Jews were walking the same way.
І для України таким місцем пам'яті є Babyn. Протягом 29-30 вересня 1941 року в Бабиному Яру нацистські окупанти розстріляли 34 тисячі євреїв.
Both sides of Dorohushytska Street were planted with young trees, and in between them stood Hitlerites. Many had dogs.
If someone fell, a dog was let loose, which ripped things and the body.
At Lvovskaya Street, they went deceived and distraught, bunching up. They caused horror to those whose gaze followed them.
I heard shots from the direction of Babi and realized what they meant. I wept over those who had gone towards their certain deaths.
There were piles of clothes in a wide open field. My job was to fetch them. From where I was, I saw other Ukrainians meeting the Jews and directing them to the place where, one after another, they were supposed to remove their belongings. Most people put up a fight when they had to undress, and there was a lot of screaming and shouting.
Some of the policemen had brass knuckles. I saw a group of men and women, elderly people and children being forced to take off their clothes. All were taken to an open pit, where submachine gunners shot them. The policeman ordered me to strip and pushed me to a precipice, but before the shots I fell in.
In Riga, in 1946, SS und Polizeiführer Friedrich Jeckeln was hanged with 4,000 people watching. Mussolini's assessment of the Germans was,
They have no political sense. In those occupied countries, they had an opportunity to create a good situation, and they let it slip. Now they are hated.
In the occupied territory